Get Rich Slow with John Wolf. Hey, today I'm doing part 2 of what the big lenders don't want you to know, and this is on fees. And I had to split this up because I'm not actually allowed by the advertising rules to talk about rate and fee at the same time. For example, I can show you what my fees for one client were, and I can show you what another lender's fee for the exact same client was, but I cannot in the same time show you what their interest rate was and my interest rate were side by side with all of the fees. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm sorry. Okay, so here I'm going to show you what the fees were on a side-by-side comparison, and this is between me and the largest purveyor of VA loans other than my company. It's definitely the one you see the most ads on YouTube. So here we go. They did something that I think is very deceptive and kind of leaves a bad feeling in my mouth. So just tell you how to read this really quick. There are Section A and B fees, and those are things that are specific costs of doing the loan itself. Section A are things I'm just charging you for the loan origination itself, and then Section B are third-party services that we have to use to make the loan happen that you as a client are not allowed to shop for. We as the lender pick them, you give us the money and we pay them, and that's how that works. So those are the only two that can actually vary in real money between two different quotes. And here's what I mean by that. The other two sections are the title fees and the per day interest and the prepaid taxes and insurance. Now, theoretically, in Oregon and Washington, if you close on the same home on the same day, then the actual title fees and the actual prepaid taxes and insurance will be exactly the same. The quotes that different lenders give for that might not be the same, and that's because there are reasons lenders purposely overestimate the title fees, and different lenders may choose to overestimate different amounts, but the real cost will be the same. So when you're comparing, if you had two loan quotes to go on and they were the exact same interest rate and the exact same mortgage insurance, you should just look at the Section A and B fees. But the way that they display them might be very deceptive. So here, let's take a look at this quote. So you have the origination of $3,000, that's a lot. And then you have the appraisal for $800, that's standardish. And then what is missing is usually there's a bunch of other like little tiny MERS or little tiny taxes or little tiny credit report fees. And it looks like this lender has just wrapped that all into the very high $3,000 origination. But then you see I had to put Section A things and draw some arrows. So they're charging this client $4,500 to lower their interest rate. And then they do something kind of weird. They give them $1,300 credit. I have never given a client a credit and charged a fee for the points at the same time. I think that they're being slippery here. I really do, because it would make way more sense to just say like, hey, you have to pay in discount points $3,200 rather than showing a discount and a credit. I feel like they probably like pointed to the credit and like, see this big credit we're giving you? And don't look at this other side where we charged you extra money. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think here. But anyways, this is a VA loan, you know, one of the biggest purveyors, and the ad you probably see absolutely the most often on YouTube anyways. Here's one of theirs, and it's from a little while ago. Okay, and here's my quote for the same person, same everything. I have more Section B fees because I break them out, but the sum of my Section A and Section B is $3,510, and theirs was $7,200 something. So if you subtract their fees from mine, you get a difference of $3,516. That's right, my actual closing costs are $3,516 less than the other guys. Might be worth getting a second quote for me, even if you're pretty far along with somebody else. Okay, let me show you a newer example and the other biggest competition in the Portland metro area, and they wouldn't be if everybody understood the real game that was being played, is the local credit unions. I know I went to my local credit union that I banked at since I was a little kid to try to get my first home loan, which they denied to even run the paperwork for me, and I have a video about that. But anyways, So here's a quote from actually that same local credit union. Happens to be that same loan officer. Still there, years later. Anyways, so their origination fee, $1,900. Their appraisal fee I actually got from a second email was lower than what they put here, so I'm gonna go ahead and give them all the benefits of the doubt there. And anyways, they were quoting a credit with the interest rate they happen to be quoting here, and I can't talk to you about the interest rate, but their A plus B together, and this number actually gets subtracted out, was $1,726. Their thing was also 2 pages, so here's the second page. The only other thing I really want, there's 2 other things I want to draw your attention to. So right here they have the mortgage insurance, $76.50 a month, okay? And then they have total seller paid closing costs. Well, this is really out of place, and it's hard for me not to say this is being deceptive as well. So this number here is just something they're hoping will happen from the seller. They don't have any knowledge this is gonna happen, and it's subtracted out of the total closing costs. So the buyer is gonna think that their total cash to close is $875 less than it is, and they're probably not gonna notice that sort of fake discount right there. So anyways, the mortgage insurance, keep that number in mind, the $76.50. Okay, so here's my quote. So let's just jump straight to my mortgage insurance, $68. Now that's not a very big difference, but this is a more than 15% down loan. So this same loan, I'm guessing if it was 10% down, we'd probably have a $20 to $40 a month difference. And if it was 5% down, we'd probably have a $40 to $80 a month difference. So even if the interest rate was the same, the monthly payment going through Caliber Home Loans would be substantially lower. So anyways, let's add up our section A and B. And again, I can't tell you if we were matching interest rates or not. I'm just not allowed to. But these quotes, which I made as absolutely fair as I possibly could, the A and B is going to be negative 1346. So you would be comparing a positive 1726 to a negative 1346. And one question you might have is like, hey, if the A plus B are negative, where's that money going? Can you write me a check? Well, I can't write you a check, but there are thousands of dollars in prepaid taxes and insurance, and the money can go that direction. So what it's really saying is the loan itself is free, and I'm going to help you even pay for the title services and or the insurance and the taxes. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so let's just look at a different type of quote, and it is the one that you should be able to apples because you're supposed to have to fill it out exactly the same way, mostly. And that is just a loan estimate. So you get this loan estimate usually after you sign or as part of the letter of intent to proceed. Sorry, the intent to proceed. So after you've selected a home, and this is a real one, and again, I'm not allowed to show you the rates, and I can't show you the things you could use to calculate the rate out of it. But anyways, here's what it looks like. Here's where the purchase price, loan amount, interest rate, what the principal interest payment would be, principal interest payment again, mortgage insurance, what the mortgage insurance is after you get the loan paid down far enough. You could probably easily refi before then anyways. And then what the insurance and taxes are. These are the estimated closing costs. So this one would be what's inputted for the math right now that you have to bring cash to close, including the appraisal, or sorry, including the down payment. And this would be just the actual cost, not including. And then this is a pretty standard closing cost sheet for me. And just some things I want to show you. The origination, there was no fees or points quoted on this one. Pretty much my standard fees for everything else. Title, again, would be the same between any two lenders, even if we estimate them different. And then taxes and insurance right here. So anyways, what's the point of all this? So the point of all this is even when two lenders are quoting the same interest rate, their fees might be very different. And I'm not saying these are all the same interest rate because I'm not allowed to. But when they are quoting you, even if they're quoting you different rates than somebody else, you need to look at this fee sheet because, man, compare, these are a couple different quotes we're talking about, but same person, $3,500 difference in closing costs. Well, even if the rate's different, maybe that's worth paying for. And then when we actually compare this two different houses and stuff, but still this one VA quote where the A and B was $7,000 from one lender and different time, different place. But in this other one, I'm quoting negative Section A and B costs. You know, it's not out of the question, and so I want you to know about the difference that I see commonly. So the last several quotes I've done against credit unions that we actually did the loan and everything, I was quoting mortgage insurance rates that were $20 to $80 a month less. I was about $3,000 closing costs less at the same time. And I can't tell you if the rates were the same or better, but check out my points and rates video, because I just want to show you what the raw points and rates are so that you have a better understanding. Anyways, smash that like button, subscribe. I know this is a super complicated topic. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. Please ask questions, I will answer them. And again, I'm a loan officer in Oregon and Washington, so if you want to support what I'm doing, my family, and you need a home loan or refinance, reach out. Have an awesome day.